Hey Stampers, welcome to Brandy's Cards. So as you guys know, the holiday catalog has gone live. It's out there and it's awesome. If you guys haven't seen it, check it out. Yeah, I can show it to you now. Very, very excited about this year's holiday catalog. There are so many great projects in there, and I'm excited to tell you that I just placed my holiday order. I've had a lot of things going on in my life recently, and with being PTA president in all of my son's elementary school, it's been crazy, but it's been awesome. I've really enjoyed it, and anyway, so things have been crazy, but school has started, so I am back to stamp in. Really excited about it, and my order should be here next week, so you guys are going to see a lot of holiday projects. So first up is, if you have your holiday catalog, turn to page 26. Let's turn to page 26, and on page 26 is the beauty of the season. Now, I've told you guys before that my children love birds, right? So I decided that that's where I have to start. I have to start with the Cardinal because it's awesome. And of course, my little ones like birds. So now, if you have not received your holiday catalog from me, I do apologize. They were sent from Stampin' Up headquarters, and maybe they just got lost in the mail. I don't know. But if you've made a purchase with me in the last year and a half and you didn't receive a catalog, just let me know. Shoot me an email or fill out the form in the bottom of this post, and I'll get one into the mail right away. I really appreciate your business. So just fill out that form and let me know. All right, so take a look here. What we're going to use is the beauty of this season. Very, very pretty stamp set. You'll take a look at this Cardinal. I really like him. And then for the greeting today, we're going to use Good Greetings. And I love this because it really hits all of the sentiments. So it's really, really nice. And the card we're going to make today, check him out. Yeah, isn't that awesome? Love it. Did you guys notice the tin foil or the aluminum foil on the outside? Yeah, pretty cool, right? So instead of stamping designer series paper today, we're just gonna crinkle some, okay? So I'll show you exactly how I made this card. I thought it was super fun. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this up. I'm gonna get ready. So what did I use to make this card? Honestly, it's pretty simple. I have, let's see, this is early espresso. You know, chocolate chip would work just as well, but I just grabbed early espresso today. All of the sizes and dimensions will be on Brandy's Cards. So it's not going to be in this video. You'll have to go to brandyscards.com and type in their beauty of the season up in the search bar in the right hand side. And then anything that I've made, any card or project that I've made with that stamp set, it'll pop right up there. It's supposed to anyway. All right, so let's go ahead and fold this. You can even type in there bird, Cardinal, Good Greetings. That should all work as well. All right, so I just folded my early espresso cardstock in half, and I do have, I've got one piece for the outside that we're gonna layer on the outside. I'm just gonna put some Tombow glue on that, and I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. I know you guys have seen me do this before, so I'm gonna glue this piece on the top, and then I'm gonna flip it over because that's actually my inside. I know it's tricky, right? No, not really. It's just a lot easier. All right, so we're gonna put some more Tombow right here, and we'll just go ahead and glue this right here to the top. Now what I'm gonna do is I was just trying to think of something fun, something festive, shiny. You know, I always like sparkle, but today I was kind of thinking, what can I do that's like shiny and fun? And so I went and I picked out some heavy duty Reynolds wrap. That's right. So pretty cool stuff, aluminum foil. So I went ahead and I pulled a piece of it off. And as far as the size, you know, it really doesn't matter. Honestly, it's a little bit easier to work with something a little bit smaller, but you want it bigger than the card. But anyway, we're gonna cut it to size anyway. So how did I make my crinkle? Just like this. I have to tell you a funny story. My husband said, well, didn't you do a card with aluminum foil already? And I said, honey, I embossed that one. I'm crinkling this one. You know, for those of you that like to make cards. You know what I mean? Look at that. Let's just try another piece. I get talking, and then, see, now you guys get the authentic Reynolds wrap. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it inside of my, my cutting board. All right, so let's try this. I'll stop talking and we'll just go ahead and do it again. All right, so what you wanna do, it is very delicate, but you just wanna crinkle it, and you're gonna open it back up. And so the more that you crinkle it, the better it starts to look, honestly. I really liked it with a lot of, just a lot of texture. It's just really fun looking. So you just want to crinkle it all up, open it back, just like this. And so see, if your piece is a little bit bigger, it's almost easier because you want to have a piece that's big enough that you can cut to size for the top of your card. All right, so you guys see that there? I'm going to go ahead and just flatten it back out. So all I did was crinkle it up and then flattened it back out. That's pretty cool looking, right? All right, so this piece here, when I folded my early espresso in half, it ended up being 5.5 by 4 1/4. My white piece on the top is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. So what does that mean? Well, that means that I'm going to have to cut my aluminum foil down to 3 3/4 by 5. So we're going to cut that down a quarter, 3 3/4. Now always cut one straight edge to begin with. And then I'm going to cut one straight edge on the other side. And now we're going to cut it to 5. And so we have a perfect piece of designer paper or aluminum foil for the top of our card. And it just looks so cool. I just love it. It's really, really cool looking. All right, so you can do it a couple different ways. You can use a mini glue dot, or you can use, honestly, I used mini glue dots the first time around. But the second time I did it, I used sticky strip. I thought sticky strip was just a little bit easier. But honestly, you just use whatever works best for you or whatever you have. I don't really recommend glue. I don't know how well that the glue would hold. So I'm going to say try to go for a sticky strip or mini glue dots. I think that's your best bet. You could even try to use, if you wanted to, you could even try to use your Stampin' Dimensionals. I think I've tried that once, but I just prefer my sticky strip. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to pull off the sticky strip here. Stampin' Up, we do sell sticky strips, so that's really good. So if you need some of that, let me know. You'll see it's just a double-sided tape, and it's good and sticky, and it's a great size. It's a great size for this kind of thing and for projects. All right, I have one more piece to pull off. Now the key is you just got to be really careful, because if you aren't careful, you know what'll happen? You'll rip your tin foil and you'll be like, ah! Yeah, trust me, I've done it many occasions. But you know what? That just makes it more fun, because it is handmade, and that's okay. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stick this right here in the center of our Whisper White layered piece on the top. Oh my gosh, I love it. Super cool. Very, very cool, right? Pretty neat. So just think, gosh, you could put ornaments on top of that. You could put so many things on top of this. So I'm really excited about that. I just thought that was great. Now let's move on. I have my beautiful Cardinal stamp, and I did purchase it in wood this time. I really, really liked it a lot. I wanted to have it for a very, very long time. I just think it's gorgeous. So I've done it a couple of different ways. I've stamped it all just in black, and it was pretty, but I just didn't think it popped. And then what else did I do? I stamped it in Stays On, and I stamped it on the tin foil. And although it worked, it just, again, didn't really pop off the tin foil. So what I decided to do was just color it with my Stampin' Right markers. I thought it really kind of gave it the most beautiful, like just kind of coming off the paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start coloring it here for you and show you exactly how I did it. And you're just going to color all of the red. So here we go. We're coloring the Cardinal. Coloring his tail, kind of moving down the Cardinal. Now, a lot of times I get questions that are like, wow, it's really neat that you colored that, but that's a pretty big stamp. Aren't you worried that it's gonna dry up? Well, yeah, sometimes I do worry about that, but honestly, if you kind of breathe on it or huff on it, it actually, it works. It kind of puts a little bit of a mist on there, and it's okay. So now I've got chocolate chip here. And I'm going to start kind of moving my way up the branches. And I'll show you when I'm done. Now there are the little berries on here, and I just really, really liked them. And I was worried that, okay, so am I going to get some of them to be brown? And what about, I want them red, and how am I going to do that? Honestly, I liked a little bit of both when I did it. I really thought it looked awesome. So I'm not going to worry too much about it, quite honestly. So as you see here, I'm just kind of moving my way up the branch. I am going to leave a few berries that I can color red. So here we go. We're just about there, kind of moving moving our way up. Don't forget to color his legs. One nice thing is his little feet and stuff are on the branch. So as you're coloring it, I just went ahead and made his legs to be brown because it was the easiest thing to do, especially like I said, because he's on the branch. All right, so now we're gonna pull back out our red. I would always color your darkest color first, and then, I would always color your lightest color first, and then your dark color. However, in this situation, it's kind of tough. So I'm just kind of going back over the red little berries and making sure that I don't touch the brown with my marker because you don't want that on your marker. That could ruin your marker. And now we're gonna take some black. And I just decided to kind of put the black right here up by his face. And I know that I left my little sponge dauber on the other side of the room. So I'm just gonna take and improvise and just use my finger because that's what we do in crafting, right? It's all good. I've done it before, quite honestly. Okay, so here you go. Try again. We're gonna just huff on it, okay? And then we're gonna stamp it. And we are gonna make some magic straight down, straight up. Oh my gosh, that is the coolest thing ever. You guys wanna see it? Here we go. Yeah, isn't that awesome? I am so excited about that. Very, very, very pretty. It's awesome. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of wipe my finger because you know what'll happen is if you touch your cardstock, you'll get a smudge, won't you? You'll be like, ah! Yeah, it'll happen. So we just gotta be careful. All right, so now I'm just gonna go ahead and glue this piece down. Using a little bit of Tombow. I have a red piece here. Again, all the sizes and dimensions will be on Brandy's card, so you'll be able to see it there. So I just centered it in a piece of real red cardstock. Let's flip it over, and I'm gonna put my Stampin' Dimensionals on here as well. You know, I always like things to kind of have a little bit of dimension, and I knew that I could not cut this Cardinal out. He's very intricate, so I decided, well, let's pop the paper up instead. So we're gonna center our real red cardstock, our rectangle right here in the center of our aluminum foil. That's perfect. We're well on our way, right? Okay, let's do the greeting. So the greeting again came from the stamp set Good Greetings. Really like this stamp set. You know, if you have a chocolate chip marker or a stamp pad, you could just stamp it in a stamp pad and then stamp it on the paper. But today, you know what, I thought, well, why don't we just kind of keep my table simple? And because I already used my markers to color on the stamp, why not do it on my greeting as well? So I'm just gonna color my Merry Christmas, and I'm gonna color it in chocolate chip. That's right, just a chocolate chip. And I'm gonna stamp it straight down and straight up, straight down, straight up. Perfect. I like it. All right, so there's Merry Christmas. We'll flip it over. I'm gonna put some Stampin' Dimensionals on it because I also want that to pop up off my card. That's right, and then I'm gonna show you what else I was thinking about as I was trying to be creative and come up with something fun for you guys for this holiday season. Let's go ahead and just stick this right here on my Cardinal, on my card. Oh, so cool. Very cool. What do you guys think? Yeah, pretty awesome. I really like it a lot. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I had a little bit of tin foil left over, or aluminum foil. So what I decided to do was rip a piece, and I thought, you know, I could very well put embellishments on there. I could put rhinestones, I could put glitter, but you know, the aluminum foil is just so much fun, and it's just so different that I thought, well, let's just take some aluminum foil and let's just scrunch it up and let's just make our own embellishment, right? I mean, it's shiny and it's fun and, well, and it matches the card, you know, it kind of ties it all together. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stick a couple of my aluminum foil embellishments on my card. I just think that is so much fun, and I guarantee you when somebody gets that, they're gonna be like, wow, that is really, really cool. You know, it really adds a little bit of pizzazz. You know what I mean? Kind of like pear pizzazz. I like it. I'll just stick that one right there. Okay, this is my beauty of the season holiday card. I absolutely am just so excited about how it turned out. Love the aluminum foil, love the little embellishments. I'd love to hear what you guys think. I hope that you like this project. I hope you give it a try. And I hope that you try it with some other stamp sets. This is just the stamp set that I chose today. However, we have got ornaments and we've got trees and all kinds of fun stuff in our holiday catalog that you could use on this card as well. So I just want to thank you so much for stopping by Brandy's Cards. And again, if you didn't get a holiday catalog from me, let me know. I'll be sure to drop one in the mail. And I must say, if you have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please talk to your demonstrator to get your catalog. Otherwise, give me a call and I'd love to share one with you. Thank you so much for your friendships, for your business, and I hope that you have a blessed day.